is one type of feedback that basically focuses on the outcome of something. So if you win or lose a game, knowledge results type of feedback that is used for this.
Action.
Knowledge of performance is another type of feedback which focuses more on this actual skill and the movement of the skill. This is really what we want to focus on when we're teaching physical education rather than the outcome.
And cut.
Now, Rachel, we're going to step your opposite foot and push your thumbs down to the ground. Good job, Rachel. Awesome job. Keep it up. Good job. Feedback is used when you're talking about your cues. So if I'm using basketball as my example for teaching, I only want to fix and I'm only focused on stepping with your opposite foot and pushing your hands down. That's the only cues and that's the only type of feedback I'm going to give back while I'm using congruent feedback.
Incongruent feedback is also an important type of feedback, but it's not directly related to the cues that we just taught. For example, talking about chest passing in basketball, we're focusing on stepping with our opposite foot and our thumbs down. Incongruent feedback to that would be nice hard pass, nice job getting it to the target, the chest of your partner.
Simple feedback is used for when you're teaching any lesson every time, and it's when you try and use less than about a sentence so the students can easily remember it, and it's also very easy for you to call out the class so they all remain on task easily. Positive feedback is also very, very, very important for teaching. We always want to be positive and bringing students up rather than bringing them down. So being really optimistic and using good positive feedback by saying great job while working with your cues as your type of feedback is also a really good skill to have. Negative feedback is used very, very, very rarely. It's used more for coaching, it's demeaning, it makes the students feel really bad about themselves, and it embarrasses them in front of their peers as well. So I would only recommend doing this if a student harms another student or if they put them in danger. But other than that, it's very demeaning and not advised. Neutral feedback is just usually one word or two to remind the students. It's neither negative or positive, and it's something like look up, down, left, right, just a reminder or to make students safer.
Go.
There are many different ways that you can provide feedback. One way is for the learner to actually see it for themselves. For example, this is when they do an action or a skill and they realize how far they have kicked the ball or how accurate their tennis serve is. Another way to provide feedback is from the teacher or the coach. This is where you might see something that the student might not see, and that way you can give them better, more specific feedback, which will help them in the long run. Another way is from media or technology. For example, you can record your student doing a skill, but make sure you have their consent first. The last way is peer feedback. This is where other learners self-evaluate each other. Good job. Very nice job of pointing your thumbs to the passing. Also, nice job stepping with your opposite foot to your target. It brings a lot more power to your pass. You're doing an awesome job, Rachel. Great job, Rachel. You're doing awesome.
Feedback is essential because as professionals of health and physical education, it is important that we as teachers are making sure students are successful all the time. This also means either changing the task or making sure that they're doing something right or incorrectly. We want to improve what they're doing correctly and modify the things that they're not doing right. Students need feedback in order to progress in their skills. So being positive, giving them simple feedback cues is really important and will help make you a better teacher and also your students feel better and more intrinsically motivated to come back to the same sport that they love.